So, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there seems to be a lot of angry Oilers fans on Twitter this summer. I don't follow any of these people, but negativity seems to be the prominent voice in the Oiler Twitterverse. So I see these comments floating around, and I really don't understand the outrage. Let's look at what has actually happened to the Oilers team this summer.
Now, these were the Oilers' lines the day they were eliminated from the playoffs back in May against the Ducks. If the 2017-18 season started today, this is what the depth chart would look like.
If you blinked for an abnormally long period of time, you may have missed it, because not a whole heck of a lot has actually changed. So to all the people freaking out right now, including a very small but vocal segment of the fan base throwing around the absurd hashtag #FireShirelli.
Get a hold of yourself!
Ow!
Let's talk about some of the players that are no longer in Edmonton anymore.
David Desharnais left Edmonton to sign a cheap one-year deal with the Rangers. I liked what Desharnais brought to the team, especially the first Oilers playoff overtime goal in 11 long years. It's a shame to see him go, but opportunity abounds for others. Pitlick took his services to the Dallas Stars. I like Pitlick's energy a lot, but he hadn't suited up for the Oilers since before Christmas last year, so it feels like he's been out of the picture for a while now. The other two departures up front are the two playoff passengers from last year, Eberle and Pouliot, making a combined $10 million. I know some have lumped Nugent Hopkins in with these two, but in my opinion, there is no way the Oilers beat the Sharks in round one without number 93.
I know I may be in the minority on this, but how is moving out 14 and 67 a bad thing? One thing I talk about all the time on my blogs is accountability. Chiarelli and McClellan sent a pretty strong and clear message to the rest of the team by shipping those two out. If you aren't going to contribute, if you're just along for the ride, there's the door. Now, as for the Oilers' latest forward addition, the JJ, not Jaromir Jagr.
It might be a soft J.
I get the allure of wanting to add Jagr. I do.
But I remember when the Bruins picked him up for their cup run in 2013, and he stuck out like a sore thumb. Jagr liked to slow things down, but the Bruins played an up-tempo, physical game.
The Oilers play the same style as that Bruins team. Jagr just doesn't fit. Edmonton's a north-south team. He's an east-west player. As for Jokinen, this was a smart and cheap signing.
They've replaced some of the shootout goals they lost from Eberle and Hendricks. They brought in a mentor and translator for the happiest hockey player on the planet. And most importantly, they didn't dish out a ton of money.
The reason this is so critical is because the Oilers need to preemptively follow the salary cap structure of the Hawks and the Penguins. And I think this is where a lot of the fan anxiety comes from.
Ryan Lambert, not sure if that's how you say his name, and I don't really care either, proved that the loudest voice isn't always the right one with his scathing anti-Chiarelli rant about the Oilers' Stanley Cup window closing almost before it is even open.
One thing that article completely neglects to mention is that Chiarelli has only overpaid two players in Edmonton, and both Lucic and Russell could or would have received more money from other teams. Every single restricted free agent he has signed at or below market value. That is the key to competing for the Cup for the next 9 years. So that article, combined with the fact that the Flames made a whole bunch of moves this summer, has fans in a tizzy. But you know why Calgary made all those moves, right?
Why?
Because they got swept by the Oilers in the regular season series, being outscored 21-11. It wasn't even close. And they also failed to win a game against the Ducks in the playoffs. Those are the top 2 teams in the Pacific. So if Calgary wants to make some noise in the division, they needed to upgrade their team. I can guarantee you, Calgary ownership does not want to see a repeat of the 80s, where Calgary had a really strong team and the Oilers won 5 times as many cups as them.
You know, there is a quote that says, 99% of things you worry about never happen.
Like I said earlier, very little has changed from the team that won 7 playoff games last year. And with another year of growth and development from young players like McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, Benning, Caggiula, and Puljujärvi, I expect the Oilers to do just as good, if not better, than last year. So everybody just take a chill pill and enjoy your summer.